morning from beautiful wintry Brisbane, Australia. My name is Linda, the cat's name's Panda, and she was happily sitting here. But now you've got my attention, so she wants out. Okay. Welcome to this morning where we're going to talk about 6 effective strategies for dealing with heartbreak. It's heartbreaking. What other term can you come up with it? Sometimes heartbreak can be soul-destroying. Now, if you're here for the replay, #replay, thanks for coming and watching live. It's great to be here with you. It's a privilege, actually, to get to share information with you, speak into your life, and hopefully help along the way. Now, the first thing we want to look at today is heartbreak, how it comes about. Predominantly in our lives, it's going to come about from a broken relationship, but that's not just a partnership relationship, it can also be in our families as well. So if you were to think about what's happened within your family, and if you've had to walk away from family members, it can be, it's a realistic thing that happens these days as we understand that we choose whether we have toxic people in our lives or not. And even though the decision may be that we can't have this person in our life because they're toxic for my life, and remember, we could just as easily be toxic for their lives, we don't know. But it's not a very healthy way to live. We are still going to experience that sense of heartbreak from having to disengage from a relationship where there was love. So it's not just your partner, your marriage, it can also be family members as well, where we experience so much deep pain within us that we've had to walk away. And honestly, the person with the most courage is often the one who stands up and says, we can't do this together anymore. Okay? It's not good. And actually, it's not good for them that we're there because we're very unhappy because we can't communicate. Hi, Maggie. And it's not good for them because we're also, deeply unhappy because we're not able to communicate, even not just with our mind, but with our heart as well. And so many of us yearn for that space and place where we can talk to somebody from our heart and just be ourselves. And I want to encourage you that after heartbreak, it definitely is possible. And even after you've had to go through it with your family member, if you grow and change and have a deep sense of healing from whatever the heartbreak is, you also can go back to seeing those people on and off. You don't have them in your life, so, they're not the closest people to you in your life, but you have a history. Hi, Serena. You have a history with them. And so what I do with certain members of my family is every blue moon, maybe, I don't know. I don't actually have a timetable for it. It just happens. I'll pop in and see them. I love them because I've been through at least 6 of the, well, these are 6 strategies, but I've been through more, it becomes deeper. To a place where I've returned to, I love them, very sincerely love them, but I just can't have them in my life because we're just on 2 different pathways, and they would probably feel the same about me because when I come along, and because I live from a heart and soul centre, it would bring up their stuff. So by just being me, it pushes their buttons because people compare, but we've reached a stage where we just come and go from each other's lives once every few years or so, catch up, and that's it. That's all we need. So I tell you this to encourage you that the initial break from the toxicity and the dysfunction, unhealthy, whatever you want to frame it as, if you're prepared to go and do your work, you can reach a space where you do feel love for these people, genuine love and caring. And look, these people are more mature adults in my life, and if they ever need me, I would be there, but they're just not part of my day-to-day life. You're probably grateful for that too. Who knows? But I digress. Now, I want you to think about the first part of the heartbreak, okay? It's very, very heartbreaking. We don't want it to be soul destroying, but we want to acknowledge what the feelings are that we're going through. I remember sitting at my computer having to write a letter over 10 years ago, and I couldn't see the screen because I was crying so much, because I had to write a letter to stand up for myself. It's really awful when you keep getting accused of things you don't do because people are in a different mindset, okay? But I love them enough that I had to say, well, no, we can't do this anymore, okay? It was hard, and it's going to be hard for you. But like I've said when we started, at the end of the day, we can reach a place of deeper love and acceptance for them. So own that you feel this way. Cry a river of tears. These aren't Kleenex, but grab the Kleenex. I have shares in Kleenex, I'm sure, from all the years of the stuff that I've had to let out. And that's okay. It's got to be okay to express these emotions, both for ourselves and for our children. My kids have seen me cry, and we've sat and had conversations about it. And just in those day-to-day conversations, it equips them to be able to know that it's okay to cry as well. Like, not just cry, it's okay that I'm going to feel this way, okay? It's okay that I'm going to feel sad, depressed, whatever it is. But I'll tell you a funny story. I've been in recovery from an acquired brain injury. So what would happen was, at the end of each day, because you're creating new neural pathways in order that you can talk and walk and everything, I'd get very cranky. But I wasn't cranky at my kids. I was cranky and frustrated because I wanted to do so much more than I could do. And because I've taught my kids to ask questions and talk to me about emotions, I was devastated. They were thinking that I was angry at them. And I said, oh my goodness, no, I'm not angry at you at all. I'm just incredibly tired and incredibly frustrated that I can't keep doing, all the things that my mind can conceive. So what happened after that was, because we had this open dialogue, they look at me now, and even though we don't live together, they'll go, Mum, go home, go to bed, you're tired. Okay? And that's what living messy life is about too, is that we can be honest where the emotions are coming from. So after your heartbreak, be honest where the emotions are coming from. Be real with yourself if you're taking it out on the people around you, and learn to apologise as well. And it works both ways, especially with kids. It will work both ways because we teach them to apologise as well. And in doing that, we're teaching them to own how they're feeling and examine why they're feeling that way. And that is such a positive thing. No, sometimes I don't like the word positive. It's a very healthy thing that continues on, not just from yours and your child's relationship, but it continues forward into their relationships and their children, etc., etc. So you're giving them an emotional education in a practical environment and very real. And it helps you. So with the heartbreak, if you need to just sit down and sob because you've been running around all day caring for everybody else, then sometimes that's just what you've got to do, because you've got to get the energy out, okay? You can do this. I believe in you. Now, the second thing is what we've started touching on, is get that energy out. So the anger, the sadness, the anxiety, the grief, the depression, we want to get it out of our body. So it's not just out of our mind and out of our heart and soul. We want to get it out of our body. Otherwise, we hold on to it like this, especially with anxiety. We can often reflect and see when we're holding on to everything so tightly. Our hands are tight, our toes are like this, and we've got to get our breathing happening, get it in there, get it down and relax. Now, one way of getting the energy out is movement. Now, I don't care if that movement is a 5-minute warm-up or muscle relaxant off a YouTube channel. You do it, because you'll thank me. It's beneficial. Or you get out for a walk, or even if you're not up to that stage, you get in your car, go for a drive. I'm fortunate I live near the water and I find it relaxing, so I used to do that. And then, even then, when you're at the water, you can journal. Now, if you don't like journaling as in handwritten, grab your phone, and I haven't looked up the app, I'm sorry, but there is an app on your phone where you can record your voice. So even recording your voice and speaking out what you're feeling is a way of getting the energy out of you, okay? And when it's out, then you get rid of another layer and another layer, okay? If we don't get it out and we don't speak it out, then we're going to hold on to it. So get it out. All right. One of the first keys as well is a strategy, actually, is forgiveness. Now, forgiveness is deeper than I forgive you, because it's emotional. It's going to sit right in your heart, and you've got to be aware of when your heart's like this, because you're very angry at them, and that's a normal part of the heartbreak, okay? But what we want to do is learn to use the words, I am willing to forgive X, Y, and Z, or X, or whatever it is. And when you say those words, you want to feel it in here. So you don't want to say them just from your mindset. You want your heart connected in, the feelings, the energy connected in. The first time I did this, I had to say I am willing, I don't know how many times, in order to be able to feel that I am willing. And it's your feeling the willingness that will help you begin the process of forgiveness, okay? I'll leave that with you, because forgiveness is pretty deep, so we don't want to do that. We just want to start with one strategy for forgiveness today. So remember, write it down, type it in your notes. I am willing, okay? I am willing to forgive either the event that happened, the incident that happened, or the person, okay? And you'll know what's right for you. I know that you will. Okay, be honest with yourself. So be honest with what you're feeling, but also be honest that you're feeling it. So if you are in your heart, you're harbouring that you want to get back together, then be real, be honest. I mean, you can go into a group on Facebook, you can get support and understanding for what the person's like, for the events that have happened, but at the end of the day, you also have to be honest with yourself. Are you hoping for something still from that relationship? From partnership, obviously, it's going to be that we get back together, we can sort it out, we can talk it out, and from family, it can still be the same, but we have to be willing to be honest with ourselves that that's what we're hoping for. Otherwise, again, we'll keep holding on and we won't move forward, okay? We won't have that movement, that release of energy that we really do need from within. Now, how to take back your personal power in this situation is own your thoughts, your feelings, and your emotions. So our brain can be pretty religious, actually. It goes down the same track over and over again. So if we see something that somebody enjoys, we feel more inclined to want to do that for them, okay? But here's the thing, when you own your own feelings and emotions and behaviours, you go, well, is that fitting in with what I need to do today as well? Okay? It's a big shift, especially when you've come from toxic, traumatic backgrounds. It's like, okay, I know that makes that person happy, but I'm not a monkey that needs to behave in a circus. I need to focus on what I need to do today, okay? It definitely is a different mindset. So I'm going to leave that with you, but also, sorry, daughter. Also, what I want you to do is be willing to own your behaviours in the relationship, okay? It's not about right or wrong. It's about being willing to examine what would I do differently, okay? Self-examination is imperative. Otherwise, we will repeat, okay? And nobody wants a repeat of heartache ever. But we also don't want to be so bound up in bitterness or anger or hatred that we can't have genuine love in our life in every aspect again, okay? It's a hard one, but it is doable over a period of time. And I think in our instant world, we have to give ourselves some latitude that this isn't going to happen overnight. All right? And now I want you to make a list of 10 nurturing things that you can do for yourself. One of the first things I always do, and it might not be with the right mindset or the right heart set, is get rid of all the photos. It's just like done. I don't want to think about it. I don't want to look at it again. I've got work to do. So I declutter everything that's symbolic of the relationship. It's just got to go because I've got stuff to do. I've got to deal with it. And it helps me by not having that stuff around. Okay, so it's up to you where your starting point is, but there'll be things that you need to declutter so that your heart isn't getting triggered back into the memories of what's already gone, because we've got today to deal with. Okay, and also you're going to have to rediscover yourself about what being not attached to the family looks like, and discover what not being attached to that partner looks like, and discover what the mindset or what you imagined that would look like. You have to be willing to get rid of that imagination and go, well, this is the reality. Okay? All right, there's a lot of work in there for you today. Feel welcome to comment below if you need to. Feel welcome to ask questions. It's all good. But know that together we can do life and we can move into a far more healthier, loving space than what heartbreak brings us to. All right, I want to wish you a beautiful, beautiful day, and I will see you tomorrow, same time. All right, bye for now.